The Lantern Room. Every winter, the old lighthouse on Blackthorn Point stood empty. No keeper had lived there since the 1960s. Yet every night at 2:17 a.m., the lantern room at the top would glow. Not the clean white beam of the old Fresnel lens, a sick, pulsing amber, like someone breathing inside a paper bag. The locals called it the watchman's cough. They said if you stood on the cliff path and looked up at exactly 2:17, you could see a shape behind the glass. Tall, thin, head tilted as though listening. Most people laughed it off. Most people never went closer than the fence. But Mara needed the money. The Historical Society was paying $800 to anyone brave enough to spend one full night inside, document everything, and leave the place exactly as they found it. No one had lasted longer than 40 minutes. Mara told herself she didn't believe in ghosts. She brought a thermos of coffee, a powerful flashlight, and her dead grandmother's silver cross necklace, just in case. The iron door groaned like something in pain. Inside smelled of wet stone and old pennies. The spiral staircase was narrower than she expected. Her shoulders brushed both walls. Each step echoed too long, as though the tower was swallowing the sound and holding it. At the top, the lantern room was smaller than it looked from shore. The huge lens sat dark and blind. Mara set her phone on a crate to record. 2:09 a.m. She waited. At 2:17, the amber light bloomed behind the lens, not from any bulb. It came from inside the glass itself, as though the lens had grown veins. Something moved behind it, not a shadow, a silhouette pressed flat against the inside of the curved glass, like a man trying to crawl out through a keyhole. Its head turned toward her. No eyes, just two black pits where eyes should be. And then it spoke, not with sound. The words arrived inside her skull, dry as autumn leaves. "You brought silver." Mara's hand flew to the cross at her throat. The shape pressed harder. The glass creaked. Tiny fractures spiderwebbed outward from where its palm flattened against the inside. "You brought silver," it said again, louder in her mind. Angry now. "And you still smell like her." Mara realized, with sick clarity, it wasn't speaking to her. It was speaking to the necklace, to her grandmother. She yanked the chain over her head, held it out toward the fractured glass. The amber light flinched. "You want her?" Mara whispered. "Then take her back." She hurled the cross. It struck the lens dead center. The fractures exploded outward in a blinding white crackle, not breaking the glass, but breaking something deeper. The amber light screamed, a sound like wind tearing through 1,000 throats, then collapsed inward, sucked into a single pinpoint, and was gone. Total darkness. Mara stood shaking, ears ringing. The phone's little red light still blinked, still recording. She stayed until dawn, just to be sure. No glow, no shape, no voice. When the sun rose, Mara walked down the spiral stairs, past the iron door that now swung easily, and out into clean salt air. She never wore silver again, but sometimes, on clear nights, she stands on her own porch, 2 towns away, and looks toward Blackthorn Point. The lantern stays dark, and once, just once, she thought she saw a faint silver flicker at the very top. Not angry, not hungry, just waiting, like someone finally allowed to rest. Mara smiled, turned back inside, and for the first time in years, slept without nightmares.